Friends, today's topic of discussion is repeatedly asked questions since 20 years. These questions are important for NET, SET, PGT, TGT, SSC exams. MCQ with explanations on English literature and language. This is Edutainment YouTube channel. Welcomes. Let's begin. Question number 1. First question. Albert Camus. Albert Camus is Algerian-born French writer. Algerian-born French writer. Let me explain. Albert Camus got Nobel Prize in 1957. The Stranger is a novel published in 1942, written by Camus. The Myth of Sisyphus. It is an essay published in 1942, written by Albert Camus. Next question. Nadine Gordimer or Nadine Gordimer, she was South African writer. Related information. She got Nobel Prize in 1991. Her first novel, The Lying Days, published in 1953. Next information. Other novels by Gordimer. Burge's Daughter and The Conservationist. Next question. The essay The New Empire Within Britain. It is written by Salman Rushdie. He wrote also The Satanic Verses. Satanic Verses is a novel published in 1988. Here he uses magical realism. Next. Subtitle of the novel Mary Burton. Mary Burton was published in 1848 and subtitle of Mary Burton is A Tale of Manchester Life. A Tale of Manchester Life. Next information, related information. It is written by Elizabeth Gaskell. It is her first novel. Here in this novel, we get three families: Wilson family, Carson family, and Burton family. In Wilson family, the members are George Wilson, Jane Wilson, Jem Wilson, who is 17 years old. In this family, we find in Carson family, we find Mr. Carson and Harry Carson. Mr. Carson is father and his son Harry Carson. In Burton family, we get the members like John Burton, Mrs. Burton, Mary Burton, and Mary is 13 years old. Next question. Margaret Lawrence is Canadian author. She wrote The Stone Angel, a novel published in 1964. Another book by her is The Diviners, published in 1974. She also wrote A Jest of God, published in 1966. She also wrote A Bird in the House. It is a short story. Next question. Ian Martel. Ian Martel is a Spanish-born Canadian author. He wrote Life of Pi. A film is made out of this novel. It was published in 2001. It is an adventure fiction. For this fiction, he got Man Booker Prize. The protagonist of this novel is Pai Patel, and Pai Patel is from Pondicherry, India. After shipwreck, Pai Patel survived 227 days. It is important, 227 days in a boat with a Royal Bengal tiger. Name of the tiger is Richard Parker. Ian Martel wrote a novel named Beatrice and Virgil. It was published in 2010, and Beatrice is the beloved of the Latin poet Virgil. We know Virgil wrote Aeneid, the epic. Next question. Alice Munro is Canadian author. writer. He got Nobel Prize in 2015. He wrote Too Much Happiness. It is a collection of short stories published in 2009. Run Away. It is a collection of short stories published in 2004. Dear Life. It is a collection of short stories published in 2012. These are the books by Alice Munro, a Canadian author. Next question. Michael Ondedzi. He is Sri Lankan born Canadian author. He wrote English Patient. It was published in 1992. For this book, he got Booker Prize. Here, the English Patient, the name of the patient is Almasi. He wrote Anil's Ghost. It was published in 2000. His another book, The Skin of a Lion. Next question. Margaret Atwood. Margaret Atwood is Canadian author. The Handmaid's Tale, published in 1985. It is a dystopian novel written by this author. For this book, the author got Booker Prize. The title echoes Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. The name of handmaid is Fred. Here the Handmaid's Tale. The name of handmaid is Fred. The Blind Assassin. It was published in 2000. The setting of this blind assassin is Southern Ontario. Characters in Blind Assassin are Iris says Laura. Surfacing is another novel published in 1972, written by Margaret Atwood. Life Before Man. It is a novel published in 1979 by Margaret Atwood. Rohinton Mistry. Rohinton Mistry is Canadian-born, Indian-born Canadian writer. Indian-born Canadian writer. Related informations. A novel published in 1992. The name of the novel is Such a Long Journey by Rohinton Mistry. He wrote another novel, A Fine Balance, published in 1995. Next question. Robertson Davies, a Canadian author. He wrote a trilogy. The name of the trilogy is the Deptford Trilogy. The Deptford Trilogy. Trilogy means a collection of consecutive 3 novel or drama or any writing. The first one is Fifth Business. Second, the Monticore. And third one is Word of Wonders. These are the 3 making the trilogy. This Fifth Business published in 1970. It is a novel. The hero of this novel, Dunstan Ramsay, who has love for hagiology. He loved this hagiology. Hagiology is the study of lives and legends of the saints or monks. Next question. Alistair MacLeod. Alistair MacLeod was Canadian author. He wrote a novel named No Great Mischief, published in 1999. Anthems of the Savannah. Anthems of the Savannah. It is a novel published in 1987. It was written by Chinua Achebe. Chinua Achebe was African writer. Related information, see here. The line is written in this book. This line is important for the examination point of view. And this line is written in this book. Let's see the line. The Cathedral of Europe, the Taj Mahal of India, the pyramids of Egypt, and the stone towers of Zimbabwe are all raised on the backs of serfs, starving peasants, and slaves. Next question. 4 quartets. 4 quartets written by T.S. Eliot. It was written for 6 years. These 4 quartets are the 4 parts. First part, Burnt Norton. Second part, East Cooker. Third part, The Dry Salvages. And fourth part, Little Giddings. All these 4 parts making the 4 quartets. Important line from The Dry Salvages. From here, third book, from the third part. In The Dry Salvages, this line is written. And Do not think of the fruit of action, oblique, far forward. So Krishna, as when he admonished Arjuna on the field of battle. The lines are allusion to Mahabharata. Paradise Lost was written by John Milton. It is an epic poem. In 10 books, it was published first in 1667 and later in 12 books it was published in 1671. He wrote Comus. Comus is a mask drama. He wrote also Nativity Ode. It shows the incarnation of Christ, Jesus Christ. He wrote Areopagitica, published in 1644. He advocates for the freedom of expression or speech or press or journalism. John Milton also wrote Paradise Regained, Samson Agonistes, etc. Next question. The term objective correlative was coined by Washington Alston. First, it was used in paintings or drawing. This term was popularized by T.S. Eliot in his essay Hamlet and His Problem. This was the essay. T.S. Eliot called Hamlet artistic failure. He called Hamlet Mona Lisa of literature. T.S. Eliot called Hamlet the artistic failure because he found lack of objective correlative in Hamlet. Concept of purple patch given by Horace. Horace is a Roman critic. He wrote Ars Poetica, means art of poetry. The meaning of purple patch means a paragraph which is exclusively filled with a lot of literary devices and ornamental expression and makes the paragraph gaudy. The term pathetic fallacy was coined by John Ruskin. It is used only in tragedy. This term is used only in tragedy. Objective correlative is used both in comedy and tragedy. Objective correlative, this term is also used both in comedy and tragedy. Otherwise, the two terms are same. IA Research called the Wasteland a music of ideas. Wasteland is written by T.S. Eliot. Principles of Literary Criticism is written by IA Research. In this book, he said so. Last question. The novel Great Expectations is written by Charles Dickens. It was published in 1861. Stella is the daughter of Abel Magwitch and Molly Jaggers. The protagonist of The Great Expectations